Shout out Big Tex.
Shout out to Big Tex for that awesome highlight.
Such a good video.
Love it.
Yeah, he's here. Dave is back. We know you've been looking for him.
Where's Waldo?
Where's Waldo? He's back for
That's
Tuesday's episode of Cover 4. Yes, we're talking about Amari. We're going to take a little look back at DC because we forgot to do that yesterday. Things on our mind, but Dave, we've missed you, big fella. Go ahead.
Oh, it's been a fun 24 hours. And where was I yesterday when the biggest news of the last 6 months happened? I was fast asleep in seat 24J aboard the Cowboys charter. Hell of a way to wake up. Thank y'all for handling it for me while I was gone. Think you did a great job. Yeah, let's get into it. It's funny what happens when you take a quick little nap.
Thanks, Waldo. You're right. Yeah, well, my kickoff today is a little fun fact about our new wide receiver, Amari Cooper. Looking up some different things about him, and we're talking about Where's Waldo books. He is an avid reader, so getting to know the playbook probably won't be that hard for him. He started a blog last year called 12 Books a Year, recommending the 12 best books he'd be reading that year. So I'm sure him and Dave will be friends in no time.
I might pick up on that. But if you hadn't heard the news, the Cowboys just traded for Amari Cooper. We had a great show yesterday, and we'll continue to do the same today. But getting Amari Cooper on a bye week is like kind of getting Christmas gifts and not being able to open them for a week. I hope the surprise is worth the wait.
Yeah, we got a long time. We got this whole week and the whole next week, and then we don't play in the weekend. It's Monday Night Football.
Yes.
So let's start now. Get these emotions out of the way with Phil in the blank. You guys, I want to know how you're feeling. The Amari Cooper trade
I want to know how I'm
has me feeling blank.
Therapist.
Confused.
Speak to me.
I'm going to say confused first and foremost. Jesse and I were sitting off to the side yesterday when we found out about the news of the Adam Schefter tweet, and she goes, first round pick. And I said, no, like that can't be true. But sure enough, it is true. We're figuring out they thought it was worth it. They know that it's a win now mode bringing him here, but I'm just still confused by this.
How do you feel, Dave?
optimistic.
Okay.
Optimistic. First of all, it's
Sunny side up.
It's done. It's done. The pick's gone. And honestly, you needed a receiver anyway. You would have been looking to spend this pick or another high pick, whether it was your second or third rounder, on a receiver.
Who needs a learning curve?
It's true. We're repeating familiar talking points here. The guy's 24 years old. He's been in the league for 4 years. So I'm optimistic. I don't think this is going to be a cure-all by any stretch of the imagination, but I am optimistic that this guy can come in and he'll certainly be better than what they have, and I think he can be better than what they would have gotten anyway. So optimistic.
Blank is the identity of this team. Identity is one of those buzzwords that's starting to get on my nerves, but we'll go ahead and do it for Cover 4's sake.
What do you think,
Identity
Jess?
of this team.
Defense is the identity
Yep.
of this team.
Yikes.
And I know that they just signed Amari Cooper, and that's supposed to bolster the offense a little bit more and hopefully get the passing game going. But this team has been led by this defense all year long. I remember Lindsay saying early in the year, stomping her foot, top 10 defense. And they've been that for this team, and they've been holding their own, not giving up many points, bending but not breaking. So for me, while we're looking around for an identity, it's on the defensive side of the ball, led by the Hot Boys.
Very true.
Yes, for now, I agree with that. I'll
And
go with that.
I would agree, but this team was built to have a highly functioning offense. You look at the offensive lineman and the running back. So I'm just leaving it. If we're looking at the offense, I agree with you. Defense is a big part of this thing, but I'm just leaving it blank because I have no idea. We're almost at the halfway point of the season. They just made a huge trade because they're not convinced that this offense can get the job done. I don't have an answer, and clearly neither did they, or they wouldn't have made that trade.
All right, Dave, you were at the game on Sunday, so this one is for you first. The snap infraction call was blank. Please tell me your thoughts in that moment.
I think it was irrelevant. We'll get into that later on in the show.
Not what you were thinking at the moment, but now, 2 days later?
In the moment, it was huge because, I think Brett Maher probably makes that kick if it's not backed up, but I hated the fact that they were even trying a 47-yard field goal in the first place. I thought there could have been more urgency to get the ball closer or maybe even score a touchdown, take some of the pressure off. So yeah, the penalty sucked. It changed potentially the outcome of the game, but it was everything leading up to that really bummed me out, for lack of a better phrase.
Yeah, we're kind of over it.
Yeah.
I wanted to hear what you thought because you were there.
I appreciate y'all letting me, vent about it 2 days after.
Hindsight 2020, yes, let's talk a little bit about the game before we completely move on and talk about Amari Cooper and the rest of the bye week. Dak Prescott's 2 fumbles, something he doesn't really do, but this has got to stop if this offense wants a chance.
Absolutely, Lindsay, you brought that up. And I think what I'm thinking here is if this was a fill in the blank, it would be uncharacteristic. That's a hard word to say because it was hard to see this happen to Dak not once but twice. And I was talking to Coach Sanjay Lal, the wide receivers coach today at the Star, and we were talking about Amari Cooper, congratulating him. And he goes, but I'm really excited about Michael Gallup. We're seeing him develop. He would have had probably an insane second touchdown if Dak hadn't let that second fumble go. Michael Gallup was right there ready to go deep.
All right, what about giving the ball to Zeke? We've been talking about number of carries. Everyone kind of differs on their opinion in this room, but 15 times? Thoughts? 34 yards?
Are you fuming?
You know what? I wasn't.
I was thinking about you during that.
And I wasn't fuming because when you go back and you watch this film, he had nowhere to run.
You're true.
That defensive line was dominant. When you go back and you watch that thing, they were getting and pushing the Dallas Cowboys offensive line a yard back from the line of scrimmage every single time. There was 0 running lanes for Zeke Elliott. And I understand in this type of moment where you're trying to ignite and get something, you can't keep going backwards. 15 carries, he only had 6 carries in the second half. I get it, I understand it. It's not on Zeke. I want him to have the ball 25 plus times, but that offensive line got bullied and dominated by Washington, and that's why he couldn't get the ball or do anything with the ball when he got it.
In a bad way. I think that's something we'll probably discuss as the bye week continues. But the last one of hindsight 2020, Dave, you touched on it a second ago, and I feel like you have some strong opinions about the way the game unfolded at the very end.
Yeah, and honestly, I hate to pat myself on the back. This isn't hindsight for me. When it was happening, I was standing on the sideline there at FedEx Field saying, I don't like the lack of urgency here. I don't like the way the Cowboys are playing it safe. 52 seconds at the opponent's 46-yard line. You had not played well all day.
And a timeout.
And a timeout, thank you, which, to quote Tony Romo, the old quarterback of this team, he said, you've got all day.
Yes.
The Cowboys did not act as though they had all day. Fabian Moreau, Washington's nickel corner, goes out hurt. So the guy charged with defending Cole Beasley is not even there. They're down to reserve players. They played it incredibly safe. They throw to the middle of the field 2 times. Even after the first time, they could have gotten the clock stopped with 30 seconds, 36-yard line. You got a chance to at least move into makeable field goal territory, if not go for the win. I just thought they left a huge opportunity on the field. I did not understand the logic of playing for overtime at all. What's done is done, but it just felt like a huge missed opportunity.
Left a bad taste in pretty much everyone's mouth.
Absolutely.
I know going into the bye, but on the other side, we're going to talk about why there's a bright side. Yes, we said yesterday, Jerry Jones is brilliant at erasing the bad memories, replacing them with what's to come, and that is Amari Cooper.
Hey Dallas Cowboys fans, I'm Danny Sarek at the AT&T Media Center. The Cowboys traded for Oakland's Pro Bowl wide receiver Amari Cooper. Head coach Jason Garrett went on 105.3 The Fan to talk about the trade. Garrett says Cooper's speed and explosiveness are cost-worthy of a first-round pick. Cooper will start practicing with the team today, and Garrett says the team benefits from having the bye week and a few extra days to really get Cooper acquainted with the team system. Coming up, the Cover 4 crew will discuss whether or not this Amari Cooper trade will fix any of the Cowboys' recent offensive struggles. Stay tuned.
How will history define us?
The perfect size?
Perfect hair? Every box checked?
No, we set the tone.
We are works of art.
Who we are is not defined by what they say, but by what we create.
The legacy we build.
Fire in our souls.
We are strong.
We are unstoppable.
We
are Cowboys fans.
Now a Cowboy. You know the way things are going in Oakland. Who wins this trade?
I think Dallas wins it. Look, they needed a big-time player. They're 3-4. The division's wide open. They needed somebody that could stretch the field besides Cole Beasley. On the outside, they want to run the football, certainly with Zeke Elliott. Starts there, strength of their team. But Dak hasn't been able to have that guy. They want to stretch the field. That's the power of this offense. And they haven't had anybody that can do that out there. And Amari can do that. First 2 years in the league, he had over 1,000 yards receiving. That's what he's done. I think Dallas wins that trade.
I am shocked that a future Ring of Honor member for the Dallas Cowboys thinks that the Dallas Cowboys won that trade.
Dave, I thought he made good points.
He did. No, he did. And I tend to agree with him, but I'm sure that was the attitude of a lot of people watching at home. Jason Witten played here for 15 years. I would hope he probably sides with the Cowboys.
All right, Dave, just putting it out there. Taylor, what is the talk of the town? We've heard Jason Witten's opinion on the Amari Cooper situation, but teammates here.
Teammates here, you're right, Lindsay. DeMarcus Lawrence and Cole Beasley wasted no time welcoming their new teammate to Dallas. Amari Cooper, has yet to go onto social media saying anything about this. I don't think he's a frequent tweeter. I don't think so, but we'll see it soon.
Book club.
Yes, we got to see the book club. Now, somebody who is a frequent social media guy is Bryce Butler, who was cut yesterday to make room for the ad of Amari Cooper, which is just sad because Bryce Butler was a very proud former Raider, getting cut for a Raider that they traded a first-round pick for. So just all around kind of a sad situation. Lindsay, you called it yesterday. Dez Bryant, we knew he would have a say in what was going on. He said, I feel no type of way. Congrats to Coop, but that's none of my business. I'm a fan of the league. A lot of people were talking yesterday. Here they go and throw away a pick, basically.
What does this mean? None of my business, but I'm a fan of the league.
I think
it's just him like sipping tea.
he's a fan of football and saying it's none of my business that they opted for him.
Yeah.
Tea?
Only 3 weeks ago that he said he wanted to be back here. Well,
Exactly.
doesn't look like
when
that.
I say throw away a pick, I mean, I'm just saying, like, he would basically be free. Dead.
Yeah.
Cooper, he's wearing 19 to rub injury to insult over here for Bryce Butler. Yeah. But, guys, this is a 9 trend. He wore 9 at Alabama, 89 at the Raiders. Can't do that here unless he bought it from Blake Jarwin. But
You can get some use out of those Miles Austin jerseys now.
Yeah.
Say, break it out.
I saw your
Put a new
tweet.
nameplate
I
on
saw
it.
Jesse's tweet.
Pray for those hammies.
Oh, no.
Stop it, Jesse.
Come on.
Fingers crossed, everybody.
Don't say that.
There, time to sound off my good people here on Cover 4. Is this Amari Cooper trade going to fix the offense of what's going on for you guys? What you think is going on?
Is Amari Cooper himself going to show up here and fix what's wrong with this offense? No.
So what is wrong with the offense?
I think we've talked about it. We're running out of ways to talk about it. We've beaten this into the ground. The offensive line can't protect when they can. Dak is missing receivers, and when Dak finds receivers, they drop it. So yes, Amari Cooper is going to help this thing. He definitely will. He's not going to be able to fix it all by himself.
What I do like about this is that Dak Prescott is getting help. Yes, the offensive line is in disarray right now. I think missing Travis Frederick more than ever. But I do think this is the coaching staff and everyone in this decision saying, okay, Dak, we see you out there. We're going to give you some help. And I like that.
Will he throw it to him? That is the question. Dave was just saying the ability to anticipate throws. Again, he can stretch
I think
the field
that goes.
for you sometimes.
See, there's an argument right now whether it's Dak smarts, Jesse, or whether it's the offensive line.
Right.
What do you think?
I think it's a combination of both. I think not having protection makes you speed up your thinking, and maybe your thinking gets a little bit off cue when you don't have that kind of protection. So first thing first, they have to secure up that line to give him some sort of time, some sort of protection, and then allow him to be back there. When you see the greats, Tom Brady, they had those clean pockets. Quarterbacks want clean pockets so they can set their feet, survey the land, and then deliver the throw. When they're worried about being hit, running around, scrambling, having guys crash in front of their face, they're uncomfortable, they're off kilter, and their throws, Aaron Rodgers is probably the only one who can throw just from any angle and it be complete. That's not Dak Prescott's game.
I think this is a missing piece to the new triplets, if you would, of course, for Cowboys Nation.
Wow, okay.
You know,
She
because
just went there.
well, I went
hell
there.
of an endorsement.
I went there
Whoa.
only because of the fact that 2 years ago in 2016, people were talking about Dak and Zeke and seeing if Dez could be that fit. He didn't end up being that for them. Amari Cooper is still a young guy, only 24 years old. He has the chance to really grow up with them and be together, united in just winning football games.
That's a good point. And the youth.
I hate to sound overly optimistic, but again, I did say I'm optimistic. So go through this season in the 4 losses. There have been at least, you would argue, 2 to 3, maybe more plays where a receiver has left a play on the field. It's been on Dak too, but you can point, Allen Hurns on Sunday, Deontay Thompson and Tavon Austin in Houston. Amari Cooper can make those types of plays, and if he can make those first downs, make those clutch catches, maybe it opens things up for other guys. Like I said, I don't think he's going to fix it all on his own, but I think he can contribute to a better-looking offense for sure.
All right. Thank you for contributing to our show today.
No problem.
Appreciate you. We out of time on this Tuesday afternoon. Jess, what you got?
Well, if you have any question that the Cowboys are America's team, just look at yesterday. The Cowboys make a trade for Amari Cooper, and it's on every news site, every internet headline, every .com, blowing Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, all those places up about everything Amari Cooper and the Cowboys. The Giants, they trade their number 1 first-round pick defensive back, Eli Apple, and it barely moved the needle. This is America's team.
Since 2010, with Coach Garrett as the head coach, the Cowboys are 4-5 after the bye week. That is their record. Now, they didn't add a first number 1 receiver like Amari Cooper, but I think this will help them a little bit for that record.
It's ironic because I'm wearing crimson and white right now, but hey, Amari Cooper, welcome to Dallas, but it's LSU Bama week, bud, so I got my eye on you. But please take it easy on us. Like, don't beat us by more than 20, please. Dear
Wagers
God.
when he gets to the locker room? Is that how you're going to introduce yourself?
I'm not wagering against this Alabama team. Are you
LSU.
insane? Hey, nice to meet you, but I hate you. No,
See
never.
you guys tomorrow, Wednesday evening. Don't miss it.
The kick.